Hey guys, okay, so today's vlog, I really need to keep up these terms, don't I? Is called 82 pounds later. And actually it's a bit of a summary really of my last sort of few years and my weight loss journey. Um, I have always, as a lot of people, struggled with weight. I come from a family of hobbits. My dad is 5'1"-ish. My mum's not that much taller. Um, Most of the females, especially on my dad's side, are a little bit larger. Um, Ladies, we certainly managed to retain our fat well. The doctor told me that that was a good thing because obviously, in the event of an apocalypse, I would probably survive longer than most people because, good at retaining fat. However, in this day and age, not so great, um, especially with the sort of foods that we eat, etc. So, I'm going to talk to you a bit about that, Jenny. I'm going to talk to you a bit about. I'll tell you a little bit briefly about how I got so big in the first place. I mean, I've always been chubby. At one point, actually, though, I was a size 8. I mean, like I got to my sort of early teens, sorry, mid-teens, and I dropped to a size 8 for quite a substantial amount of time. But I think that's just because I ran around, didn't really eat, and just drank. And then had my first child and went up to about the size that I am now, really, sort of 10 to 12. And I always look chunky, and it's not because I have guns. I mean, look at my check out my swans. I've just always been that build. I've always been short and stout, like a little teapot, kind of cute. And I'm 5'2" and 3/4. So yeah, so don't exactly have height on my side, and I have my hamster cheeks, which I'm trying to be proud of. So I'm currently weighing in at around 10.5 stone, which is not massive. It's not overweight. I still personally would like to be down to around 9.5 ish. So I'm still on my journey. But I thought I'd talk to you a bit about my heaviest weight. I've had 3 children, 3 little boys. My second child was stillborn, and basically I lost my shit for about 3 months. Didn't even brush my hair, and for a good couple of years, my focus was on having a child, which I did. I had my beautiful little boy, and he's really healthy. But with that pregnancy and with all the worry and the struggle with that, and even, I'll be honest, I struggled to bond with him in the beginning. I'll talk about that in the video, though. I literally just kind of plod the weight on, and at my greatest, I got to 16 stone 2, which is basically another human, or small human anyway. So I was carrying 3 humans, because part of that I was pregnant. But yeah, no, my heaviest non-pregnant weight was 16 stone 2, which was quite impressive, I think. And I was terribly miserable. I just gave up, I'll be honest. I had given up completely. For a short while, I just thought, well, this is me. It's never going to change. This is the way my life is. Blah, 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 blah. So I accepted it for a little while. And then met a good friend of mine now, Luke, who is a PT. And he basically kind of slapped me out of my mindset. He was like, come on, Emma, what are you doing, man? This is really, I'm quite an outdoorsy person. Well, I'm very outdoorsy. I love to surf and stuff. He's like, come on. He's like, what are you doing? So he literally dragged my ass out. And believe me, it was a kicking and screaming. He wanted me to run, and I was like, no, I am not running. I do not run. Blah, 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 blah. I couldn't run, even 50 meters. Literally nothing. I was just huge. Didn't like exercise of any type. Love to eat out. It's probably the best way of putting it. I'd eat a lot. I would binge eat. I still do binge eat a little bit, if I'm honest. It's still not completely gone. But yeah, no, I was not in a great state. Anyway, he persisted, and we started on a weight loss journey, and it was an exercise. We started, I would not go in the gym. No way on the planet at that size was I stepping in that gym. And even now, I'm not that keen on gyms. I occasionally go, but yeah, don't do gyms. didn't want to be looked at, didn't want to be wobbling in front of people, etc. So we went and did exercising down on the river, and we just do like circuits and, sort of using everything that was available to us naturally, and obviously, sort of, architecturally, I guess is the word, so doing press ups off of monuments or whatever, not disrespectfully, but, running back and forward up a hill, or do you know what I mean? Whatever, we did this, and this is how it started, and at the same time, he was kind of getting me to eat a bit healthier and stuff, and what I did, I mean, I have a completely different overall diet now, but it kind of happened in stages. The first thing that I did was I cut out alcohol. Now I'm back onto alcohol, don't you worry. But actually, the very first thing I did for the first 3 months, I didn't drink anything, like literally nothing. Now, my industry, the industry that I'm currently in and have been in forever, there's a lot of alcohol. We're always celebrating. We love to party. It's all about the party. So the alcohol was a major part of my life. So it was actually quite hard because every single day I was being offered alcohol. And it was just a part of my lifestyle. Prosecco was a major part. You got handed it everywhere you went. But that first 3 months, I lost nearly a good stone and a half, if not 2 stone, in 3 months through this basic amount of exercise. I cut out alcohol. So then I started to. I know people say don't cut out total food groups, but I do believe that there are food groups that you should majorly limit, if not cut out completely. So I then went on a bit of a thing. So the next thing that I cut was refined carbs. Now, let me just clarify that. Starchy refined carbs, starchy carbs and refined carbs, because I do still have a massive weakness for chocolate, and I'm very keen on sugar. Pavlova is a big one for me. But I stopped eating potatoes and chips and pasta and rice. I know people go, oh, well, you shouldn't do that, but my body type, you really should. I just don't cope well. I sniff them. Fat, again, it honestly worked for me. And I would replace them with other things. So, for example, if I have a curry, instead of having rice, I'll have traditional rice of any type. I'll have cauliflower rice. If I am making some sort of stir-fry dish, I use naked noodles. So I was still, and cauliflower mash and things like that, so still having the same meals, exactly the same, but just finding alternatives for the starchy carbs. So the alcohol was gone, starchy carbs gone. Then, I just kept progressing, and then, I started cutting out all, like, lots of cheese. I still ate a bit of cheese, but, like, major cheese. I stopped eating takeouts, like I have a takeout once, maybe at the very most once a week, but, it was every day, So I just literally went bit by bit, changing my diet, taking things out. I'll post my typical home food, because that was another thing I did. I deliberately did not have anything at home that would tempt me, so I would not buy anything that, because I can't do things by half. If you offer me a biscuit, I'll eat the packet. If you offer me an ice cream, I'll the whole tub's gone. So I'm one of those people. So if I'm going to eat ice cream, I have to think about it. I go and buy it, and I look at it, and I try and buy the very best possible ice cream, as far as nutritional wise and macros wise, but also I know I'm going to eat the whole thing, so I don't buy a big tub. And I have to be like, you're right, I'm going to do this, So, and I still do binge, which is probably why it takes me so long. I mean, I've been on this journey for a long time, but I was 16.2, I'm about 10.5 now, which is pretty a lot of weight, and I maintained my 10.5 stone. My 10.5 stone I've maintained for over a year now. I was probably 11.5 to 12 for maybe 2 or 3 years. So, so I was maintaining a good, it was coming down and stuff. And like I said, it still is. It's just taking a minute to do it. So what I'll do is I'll post my typical shopping list and the things that I eat regularly. It's not exactly, there's a lot more that could be added to it. It's just what I prefer to eat. And what I'm going to do is I'll probably do some vlogs on, or some blogs or something on recipes and stuff. Because I know a lot of my friends now, they'll say, like my brother's a big one for it. He wants to sort of bulk up a bit and eat healthier. And he's a massive burger fan and pizza and stuff. And he was like, Emma, I need to change my diet, but I don't know what to do. And, and I'm really good at coming up with the alternatives. Yes, sometimes they take a little bit of getting used to because they're not quite the same, but they're good enough. Cauliflower rice is good enough, And there's some really good brands out there that's already made for you, so you don't have to fuck around, because that's another thing, prep time. I buy a lot of frozen food. I buy a lot of store cupboard food, and I buy a lot of frozen food. Frozen chicken, cooking from frozen. People will go mad at me for it, but at the end of the day, if I didn't do that, I would probably revert to take out more. Having the frozen food is the better option of the two, because if I don't have the frozen food, I'll forget about it and it will go off. Or I'll have to buy it each day, which is quite expensive. Or I have to go somewhere. I live in the middle of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? So the frozen food does work. So don't, yes, it would be great to eat fresh and organic and everything every single day. And I do try to eat as healthy as possible, but don't, when you're buying your alternatives to stuff, don't be too hard on yourself is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so I just wanted to talk to you about that really, and just say it is possible. I'll show you a little picture of me before and after. Have any of you ever seen Austin Powers? Hopefully you don't think I look like that now. Just 1 second. This is impressive, by the way, so prepared to be impressed. But yeah, I was a big girl. I decided to dye my hair bright. This isn't actually my natural hair color anyway. I'm actually blonde. I just recently decided to dye my hair dark, because that's what I do occasionally. But yeah, I was bright orange at the time. So this actually was very recent, very, very recent. Let me see if I can bring it up properly for you. So hopefully you can see this. Hopefully, you see that? Oh, hang on a minute. Oops. I was trying to do it properly without. Can you see that? Where are we? No, the camera's not doing it well. You can probably just make out. I'll post. There we go. See. So I was a big girl, and that was me. That's me taken about 3 weeks ago, maybe. So you can see, come a long way. Come a long way. Anywho, the point of the matter is, if I can do it, anyone can do it. There are just a couple of tips, or ways that I did do it, cutting out each different thing. I still drink. I actually drink every week now. But what I do is try and monitor my drink, as far as I'll drink gin, usually straight, but if it's with something, then I'll drink it with, sort of a diet soda or something. Because it's the one with the least calories. It's just about finding those alternatives, getting yourself out. I don't actually train with Luke anymore, although he was immense for a good 4 stone of my weight loss. He was immense and amazing for that. But I just am more active in my own life. I cycle a lot. I put myself into big events, a lot, and I talk about those on my blog as well, as you see. So I cycled to Paris in October. Did the Isle of Wight cycle, although it did hurt my knee 40 odd miles in, 60 miles in, or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. So yeah, that wasn't so great. But I surf. I tend to do quite a lot of running. I still do weights. Got weights at home. Dance a lot at home, which might seem silly. Might actually do a video about what I do on a daily basis as far as exercise wise, because it's not probably your general stuff, but I find it fun. So anyway, if you've got any questions, then obviously pop them below or PM me or whatever. And if you've got before and after photos, I'd love to see that and hear your journeys and any hints and tips that you have. I'll post some recipes. I'll put my food list below, so you can have a look at it. And yeah, all good.